Thank you so much, Monica, for this opportunity. And I would just start with MMA and my association. I think I'm one of the early members to join the MMA AI Council, and since then we've been having some great learnings out there, contributing to a lot of reports and jamming with a lot of our clients and MMA AI Council on the members out there. So a lot of inspiration which you see in the industry gets propelled through these MMA initiatives. And this, I would say, is one of them, because every time we jam, we talk about inclusion as one of the criterias. And I've been talking a lot about taking technology all the way to the bottom of the pyramid to 350 million people who are still on feature phone and do not use internet. And we've been talking about a lot of cases around social impact. And finally, we have been working on it, like a large team at WPP and Britannia have been working on it for almost like, I would say, about 6 odd months. And now it's seeing the light of the day. So I'm really excited and super duper privileged that I'm getting to launch this along with all my friends and leaders here on the stage. And we decided to keep it like more like a stand and deliver kind of a format, because we have got an amazing AV which we're going to unleash on this particular campaign. Now today's segment, and since morning we've been discussing about CX, this particular segment is all about inclusion in a consumer life cycle. When you're building platforms, we need to see to it that the platforms are inclusive, not just for a specific community, for everyone at large. And this is a segment where we talk about blending tech, creativity, and solving for a real life problem. And in this journey, I came across an amazing friend of mine, Amar, who's a High Court, Supreme Court practicing lawyer. In fact, right before this segment, he was actually fighting out a case on a video call. And we were all like completely amazed in the way he was fighting it out. But that's what Amar does. He totally, every time I speak to him, and a friend of us got us connected, and Shibani from Storyboard 18. So Shibani came to our experience center, and she says, Neeraj, amazing energy. I would like you to meet this person, Amar Jain, who is like your brother, like typical energy. You should definitely meet him. And Shibani tells me, like, being the emerging tech leader at WPP, you're pretty much on top of your game, but you will be amazed to meet this gentleman who's been living with technology, a classic prototype of man-machine coexisting, which is what the world is waking up to right now. But this gentleman here is being living that. And I would hand it over to him, and I would get him to talk a bit about his journey. But before that, every time I speak to him, I never feel that anything is lacking. You know, when he'll message me on WhatsApp and he'll say, मैंने तेरा email देखा. You know, his first reaction. Then I said, Bangalore से return जाना है, कितने बजे की flight लूँ? You know, मुझे flight नहीं दिख रही है. क्या बात कर रहा है? मुझे दिख रही है, 11 बजे की flight ले ले तू. Indigo की 11 बजे की flight दिख रही है. That's how Amar Jain talks. मैंने तेरा chat देखा. And it really amazes me. And he's done some mind-blowing work in terms of collaborating and living with technology. And he's the one who guided me when he was here at our experience center in Gurgaon. And I was taking him through the experiences, and I tell Amar, on your left is a pod where there are a lot of QR codes, and you want me to guide you to the code? He said, no problem, it's on my left, right? He wakes up and he moves towards the left, and he has got some application which beeps, and if it beeps loud, that means he knows there's a QR code there. And you scan and then you get into the experience, right? So we gathered a lot of feedback when we were working towards this initiative from Amar, and over to Amar now.
Thank you, Neeraj.
How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm super excited. Thank you, MMA Global India, for having me here. Thank you, Britannia. Thank you, WPP. Well, with all the formalities out of the way, right? So I was born with one can't, or which is one that cannot, that I could not do. Any guesses? Oh, very good. Amazing. So I was born with that one can't. Rest of it has to be in life what you want to do and what you don't want to do. That's how I look at life, right? So when I was born, I belonged to Jodhpur, Rajasthan. Society around me, my social circle around me, family, etc., said, "Bichara andha kya karega?" That's how my life started. I went to a blind school, studied in a Hindi medium blind school till 12th, and I wanted to do something different, which others have not done. I chose law as my profession. And here comes my challenges. First challenge, How do you read books? Because books are not available in accessible formats. Braille takes a lot of time and volume. So I learned this funky thing called screen reading software, which basically reads out what gets displayed on the screen. And because I come from Hindi medium background, I could barely understand its accent because it was all US at that point in time. So what I did, I didn't have anybody to teach me because people were scared, how will they teach a blind fellow? So I kind of typed my own Hindi words like kachori, dal bati, and I made fun of it, that this guy can't pronounce this also properly. Then my next challenge came when I started working. Some of you may have been familiar with the term called due diligence.
Yeah.
Right? So when you do due diligence on client matters or transactions, it's a capital markets transaction, it's a banking and finance transactions. I worked with law firms to begin with my career, right? Prestigious law firms of India, Trilegal and Cyril Amarchand Mangaldas. Clients would just give us view access rights where you could just view the screen. You could not download that data, you could not extract that data, which again took me back to my Kant because I could not read it. That's where solution came in form of an AI solution, where I could point out my phone camera, AI would look at the screen and will tell me what is coming up next. Then became a little more challenging. How do you read handwritten stuff and multilingual stuff? So again, AI became a solution. Then, okay, great, you started working, now you need to independently move. You need to have your own social life, dating, etc., that each one of us goes through in phases, right? So how do you move independently? So you took up a shoes which has Bluetooth insole, which is connected with GPS to your smartphone, because when you're walking, you don't want to be distracted with sounds, because you want to focus on the on-road traffic, etc. Those soles would basically, what will happen is that insole will, through the Bluetooth connectivity, will give you haptics. So for example, if you need to move left, your left shoe would vibrate, and there are different patterns of vibration. As to if you need to move 50 meters, it will be a small vibration, 100 meters will be a little more longer vibration. Life became more complex, got married, etc. Right? Well, beautiful life. All right, so after marriage, many things. How do you read pharma products? How do you, as a blind person, how is a girl or a lady supposed to check their pregnancy analysis using the pregnancy test kit? Because the results that you get are purely lines, which you can't see again. So again, AI comes into picture and guides you as to what the result is all about. Now came my bigger challenge. I keep shopping grocery products like curd, milk, etc. And all of these are, of course, as you know, perishable commodities with a small, very, very, very short shelf life. As a person with blindness, it was impossible for me to read printed packaging. How do you read the expiry date on the packaging? That's where I met this gentleman, Neeraj, who then introduced me to an amazing solution called Britannia AI. I'll stop here and let them talk more about it.
But you should talk about your experience meeting me.
And talking to me from there.
Yes, this is precisely why he is MMA member, no? Knows how to market. So this man, I asked him one question. You know, many times what happens when people come up with solutions for people with disabilities, they would have either seen somebody with a disability, somebody closely living, a relative or a friend, or sometimes assumptions may or may not be true, right? Neeraj said, I don't know any person with disability in my life. You are my first friend whom I knew as a person with disability. And we just got introduced a couple of months ago, right? So I asked, how did you think about solving for this use case? And he just said, you know, my thoughts went into the direction when I said that AI is acting like an eyes. So I started thinking, how would a person without eyesight be able to use this solution? So the point that I wanted to kind of stop here with is that for thinking, when you think of inclusion, it's not a rocket science. It's really the thoughtfulness and mindfulness that you'll just now see, which reflects very truly in Neeraj in its truest sense.
Sure, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, if you've been following, I've been talking a lot about multimodal AI stack. And in my words, I say that AI will now have eyes. You to look at stuff and we can comprehend it, and you will load AI models and stuff like that. And when I said AI has eyes, let's go to someone who doesn't have one, and let's try and collaborate with the community out there. And that's how we jammed, and today we are actually on a solution. So I will invite the guy, my friend Siddharth, who's really supported us in this journey, and I would let him talk more, like what prompted him to support us on this initiative.
So, I mean, super inspiring. This guy is another level of inspiration for all of us. At Britannia, we are truly Indian, and we are obviously always looking at ways to cater to the entire country, all the many Indias, all Indians. And inclusivity, or rather commitment to inclusivity, is a big agenda for us. Whether it is our products, whether it is our operations, our entire ways of working, always looking at being inclusive. Even as far as in the last couple of years, if you see what we've been able to do using technology, it's about being able to offer hyper immersive experiences to the consumers, leveraging technology, which again makes consumers as part of the brand narratives and brand stories. A few examples just to quote some of them. We had, for example, we had an initiative called Britannia Bourbon It, where the agenda was to actually enable consumers convert their regular recipes into bourbon recipes. Bourbon, an iconic chocolate brand that we have, been there in the country for 70 years. We wanted them to just experience different recipes which are bourbonized. And that's where we involved consumers into our brand stories. Another initiative was Milk Biki's Adengappa, which we had, which we executed in Tamil Nadu, iconic state, iconic brand for us in the state, where essentially what we wanted to do was we wanted to enable dads to become active storytellers to their kids. And again, technology, AI enabled us to empower dads to become good storytellers for their kids. Any object around them, if they would scan that object, it would generate a new story. And that story then gave them that ability to just become heroes in the eyes of their kids, because they could just, at just a click of a button, they could generate thousands of stories with just scanning objects around them. Similarly, there was another initiative we recently executed on our iconic brand 50/50, which was called 50/50 Chief Selector, where actually we used AI to empower people to just design the next shape of a 50/50 product. And again, fabulous response where crowdsourcing, it was our first of its kind, and a huge crowdsourcing initiative that gave us, again, fabulous results. So essentially, we are looking at ways and means of using technology to be able to offer inclusive experiences and involve consumers in the brand narratives. So that's, again, a culture that we've imbibed, we've grown in the last couple of years. Another initiative that we carry out is it's an annual technology symposium called Levitech, where we open ourselves to new technologies, new partners, and we actually see what's around the corner, what's the next big thing that's gonna be the next technology breakthrough that's gonna come in. And actually, this germ of this idea actually came in the December Levitech that we ran, and that's where actually Neeraj showed a working prototype, a working model of what we are going to launch today. And we were obviously super excited because it was building the narrative of inclusivity for us. And we said, we need to work on it, we need to build it, and we need to launch it. And it's been 4 or 5 months of intense effort that has gone into this initiative, but we are ready to launch it today, and we're super kicked about it. Essentially, this is Britannia AI. It is ready for launch, yes, and it's going to democratize retail experiences. It's going to empower the different communities that we have, and it is going to be essentially offering independence and inclusivity to everyone. And that's something that is giving us that's making us super excited. And it's at the core of it. It is using the Google Gemini platform, leveraging Astra, the multimodal technology that Neeraj was talking about, uses camera to voice, and gives us that ability to democratize the shopping experience. So
So like Sid mentioned, what we do is we invest in a prototype on events like these where in this particular event, and me and Sid were talking at Levitech, we just went on the stage and we pointed the camera on the audience and we said, that guys, I'm stuck in the ocean and I can see so many dolphins around me. That's where it corrects me and it says like, it looks like you are in a conference and there are people cheering for you. And that got so much excitement in the room. And then we unveiled this use case that we can do something like this. And we got complete backing from our leaders, Britannia leaders, and here's where we are today, launching this campaign together.
So can we launch Britannia AI?
It's not going to be launch happening from somewhere here. It'll be a simple AV.
AV, yes.
Like Amar, we'll just step aside.
Welcome. Let's go to the Britannia biscuit section. Walk straight ahead. Now turn right. Turn left. You have reached. This is Britannia NutriChoice digestive cookies.
What is the expiry date?
The expiry date is the 27th of September 2025.
Can you guide me to the checkout counter?
Turn right and walk straight. You have reached the checkout counter. Thank you for using Britannia AI. Meet Britannia AI, a Google Gemini-powered AI voice assistant designed to give millions of visually impaired individuals across India the confidence to shop with complete independence.
I love shopping, but it is not so simple for people like us.
Now with Britannia AI, visually impaired shoppers can navigate their way through stores. It guides them to Britannia products, provides details on variants. This is Britannia milk bickies. And even alerts them to allergen and key information, all through voice.
It feels like having a friend in the store who exactly understands what I need.
4 grams of sugar. The result? A progressive step towards increased independence and self-reliance for visually impaired individuals. This is Britannia.
You no longer need to depend on anybody else for everything which makes your shopping experience more enjoyable.
Everyone deserves the dignity of choice. Britannia initiative is a step towards true inclusivity.
Britannia AI, making independence for the visually impaired a reality, one step at a time.
I was just telling Amar, this feels so amazing that you keep working on prototypes with partnership support from Google Cloud. In this case, I should definitely give a shout out to my friends, Christine, Deb, Kenny, Sam. They spent a lot of time with us, training our people, and gave us access to run these demos on large conferences, and then helping us work towards these kind of use cases, right? So we do a lot of prototyping. I'll tell you, like 8 out of 10 never see light of the day. And when it really happens, it feels so amazing, right, that this is actually happening. And thanks so much, Siddharth, for supporting us with these initiatives. And Amar, now I would just invite you to share your experience. I know you have spoken to the fraternity who visited us at More Retail in Bangalore. There's a large audience from the community who visited and who shopped with us. So what has been their experience?
I think before I go there, one thing about Siddharth that I'd really like to acknowledge over here is that this man is a decision maker. He's an action-oriented man. You
I
tell him,
second that.
Siddharth, I want this to happen. She like, yeah, let's do it. So that quality, I think very few people have, and he's amazing that way.
Thank you so much.
Well, why does this solution matter? You heard about independence, dignity, etc., right? The real life scenario is that when you walk into a mall and when you want to shop, if you don't have solution like these, you are dependent on human assistance. And that human assistance can get to you in different forms, different shades, depending on the mood of the person, depending on the pressure of the sales target that they have, depending on the incentives that they're getting on each product. So you may not get to know exact offer, exact price, exact expiry date, exact ingredients, etc., that you want to typically watch out for while buying any stuff, right? This solution, to me, was a sense of true dignity, independence, and empowerment in its truest sense, where empowerment is not just done for the lip service sake, but it's a true empowerment where I could walk with ease, scan the QR code, choose as many products as I wanted, try as many combinations, look for different varieties, look for different price points, without any hesitation, without being dependent on anybody, and without even thinking how is the other person judging me.
Totally.
Right? So that way, this is the solution. And I was just telling, the team, this is right now we are looking at it as a consumer goods solution. You imagine the use case. My wife asked me an interesting question. If this kind of a solution can be built, then could we also have solutions like these which can help me apply makeup properly? She faces difficulty in applying eyeliner, for example.
Oh.
Right? So smart home security solutions, because as both of us are blind, we need camera that can analyze the video and give us the verbalized description of what's happening, what is it that the camera is able to detect through the motion sensor. And I'm pretty sure that solutions like these can even expand and reach to that level.
I have that on my task list now. That's your birthday gift next year. All right, super. So with that, let me now invite Amin and share some learnings on how he gets such a large team to work on these fabulous events like Levitech. Amin?
I thought the session was over already. Because I think pretty much extremely very interesting, very exciting, very energetic idea. We saw a lovely video. If somebody like Amar can speak so fluently and eloquently.
Amin was mesmerized. I was trying to wake you up.
Yeah. I was kind of, and I've been with him for the last 1 hour before the session, right? So I've just been kind of thinking that, oh my God, where there's a will, there's a way. And I personally saw what Neeraj mentioned. He was actually, representing his client in a legal case and making an argument and an appeal. And I think for 25 minutes, he spoke impromptu, which means that he had remembered what the dates were, he had remembered what the financial transaction was, he remembered what the lesser and the lessee issue was, how many parts were resolved, how many parts were pending to be resolved, and he also, kind of quoted a number of cases, as a reference point to his argument. It was just a sight to be seen, to be believed, right? So I'm saying hats off to somebody like Amar, who's in front of us, right? And before I come to the culture of building innovation on a consistent basis, what I really love about the Britannia AI initiative is that we do a lot of innovations. We win a lot of awards, thankfully, right? But this is not an innovation for the sake of innovation. This is really, centered around solving for, a real consumer need, a cohort that we are trying to solve for. And that's the constant journey that you need to inculcate. And it doesn't happen overnight, to Neeraj's point, right? You need to be closer to the consumer. There is a lot happening in his life from a marketing, from a platform, from content, and from an attention, area, and to find that consumer's attention and to solve for them is increasingly becoming a challenge. So that consumer challenge remains. Also, these ideas need to land within the brand need or the business need or the category need. This is an idea which is not singularly on a brand, on a category, but in my opinion, this will scale up one day to the entire CPG industry, right? And that is what we are trying to focus on, that someday this kind of touches up across, all the categories that we have to talk about. And hopefully we'll see that. Coming to the culture of saying, there are teams who are constantly inspired about what's happening in the emerging tech area, what's happening in the consumer space. And what we do is, and thanks to clients like Britannia, that we partner with them and we create an engagement platform like the Levitek. And this was the second edition where the brand, the emerging tech, the technology, and the consumer understanding and the journeys came to life, and we saw a beautiful magic and a symphony of innovations and ideas that got presented and shortlisted, and very happy to see one of those key ideas seeing the light of the day. And real thanks to our WPP partners and Babita and her team to bring this entire idea to life through her tech and storytelling expertise. So over to Babita to tell us and take us to the next segue.
So just a quick segue to what Amin said. Events like Levitek not just focuses on technology, but it gets the worlds to collide. So we actually blend tech and creativity and create experiences for consumers, retailers, fraternities. And that's where I think we partner with VML, Ogilvy, Gray, our creative opcos, supremely talented creative guys who come and share the passion and energy with technology folks like me. And that's why we see some mind-blowing use cases coming in. So
only VML on this stage right now.
Exactly.
Everyone.
I was just about to say that, Thank you.
But everyone. One WPP. Let's go.
Thank you. So thank you again, Siddharth. Everyone's thanked you, but I have to sort of say a word of thanks. It was really overwhelming for us, honestly, to partner Amin and team as part of Team WPP, both on creative tech with Neeraj, as well as the storytelling, right? And I'll talk a little bit about the storytelling. And I'll start off with thanking Amar. We were talking before this, and I was just collecting my thoughts. And Amar said something about what is good storytelling, right? Good storytelling is something that is about feeling. It's about real feelings. It's about getting under the skin. And it's about, therefore, expressing emotions which are genuine and honest. And I realized that that is pretty much what the VML team felt when they were working on the creative for this and the AV that you just saw. And of course, all the other elements that will be there. So it started off with, if we have such an impactful and innovative tech solution for the community, what should be a storytelling means that is equally impactful and that brings across the message of empowerment for the community. It's a different way of engaging with the world. It's a different way of shopping behavior, and that was really the crux of what we tried to do. I must also say that the team, when they were on ground, and they actually sort of worked with real experiences, it was very overwhelming. And that is when the realization was, it is not just about writing a script by a creative person. Of course, we had a creative team on board, but the stories were within the experiences. The stories were in every user that you saw here. The stories were with Amar, and it was just our job of threading it together in a way that the story gets out to India, to the world, and of course, the story in the world of Britannia and beyond. So that is pretty much what we did. I do look forward to feedback. And as Team WPP on, like Amin said, how do we take this forward now to make this a democratized solution? Thank you, Neeraj. And thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. I would now invite Siddharth to round up the conversation, giving us a quick insight on how does this see this platform evolving.
Huge initiative for us, committed to the cause. Right now we have worked along with Amar, and we have executed this initiative in one store in Bangalore. Obviously, initiative of this nature, it doesn't get right in the first attempt. So we are also learning through, there will be a lot of interesting learnings with our NGO partner. Lots of visits that are happening to the store to see how is the end user experience. What are the evolutions that we need to make? So that's the journey that we are going through now. And the commitment is to scale it up to 10 to 12 stores in this year itself, and then take it from there. And as we scale it up, obviously the community is going to play a critical role, which will allow us to learn and scale it up and take it to the perfection that it needs to be there. And that's the commitment, and that's the vision of this Britannia AI that we are setting out to achieve. And this obviously wouldn't have been possible with our partners. And I would want to use this time to also thank them. Would like to thank Mitra Jyoti, our NGO partner that has played a critical role in getting the right set of people to be able to get learnings and, and walk in this direction. Obviously, our dear friend Amar Jain and his mission accessibility, wouldn't have been possible without, that first call that happened and set the ball rolling. And obviously, our WPP partners, Mindshare and VML, been partner through the journey, and the journey has just started. It's a big cause, and it's something that we'll need to build from where we are right now. And Neeraj, of course, because to set the ball rolling and for us to have that first conversation, and you feeling that confidence to just reach out to us and get Amar introduced to us, and then just start the entire journey. So thank you so much for that. And the commitment is there, and we'll take it from there. That's the vision on this one, on Britannia AI.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys. Amar, you want to add some parting comments?
No, I think from what Siddharth said, an important takeaway for every one of us in this room is co-creation. Involve users for whom you're creating, help them sit with you and co-create and refine the solution. I think that's a very, very important key takeaway from what Siddharth said. I love to end with Shairi. And so, बुलंद हो हौसले तो मिलते हैं रास्ते, बुलंद हो हौसले तो मिलते हैं रास्ते, ये दुनिया नहीं है दोस्तों सुस्त जनों के वास्ते. Thank you.
ये शायरी खत्म हो गई, it'll extend further. All right, thank you so much to our showstopper, our rock star, Amar Jain. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I think they deserve a standing ovation for what they've delivered. May we request all our speakers to please stay back with us on stage. Let's continue with that applause. Let's give them a resounding So with that, allow me an opportunity to now invite Ms. Monica Khurana, Country Head, BOD Member, MMA Global India, along with Rohit Dadwal, CEO APAC for MMA Global and Global Head of Smarties WW, to please join us and allow us an opportunity to get you all in one frame. And of course, we'd love to hear from you as well. Monica, this one.
Okay. Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay, I didn't have any plans to come on stage, but I just had to do this because I think I really need to say a special thank you to this team for culminating Data Unplugged in the most beautiful way, because we always wanted to make sure that as a body, we represent not just CX in a context where it's very, sort of tactical or very sort of limited, but in a genuine, strong way that CX, as a message, we wanted to say CX is for all, and here's an example on how you can do it for all, and that's been a true inspiration, Neeraj. Thank you for doing this. It really helps, and I hope it inspires all of us to do more of such work. I think another standing ovation for the team as well. Please, I'd like all of you to stand up. So this is for Britannia, VML, Mindshare, Group M, WPP. I've covered it all. Yeah? Okay, I'd like Rohit to say a few words as well before we let you guys go.
There are few occasions when you sit in an audience and expect something that will surprise you. But more than that, something that you take away as a learning, and I think this session was one of them. A learning which, in the hindsight, I must say, we should have this as the first session of the day. We could have opened it with this session where the consumer experience is. We always learn, that's another learning. But I think the whole world of technology and the way Amar was talking about the experiences he had, whether it was the shoes, whether it was the braille, whether it was the speech, text to speech, all these are technologies which are enabling the experience that he had personally had. So at the end of the day, it is really, technology is the means to the end. If we can figure out or creatively come up with the ideas of how how that can enhance the consumer experience. The experience is what matters, and I think this was a great case. And thank you all for doing this. Thank you.
With that, if I may request all of you to please come together as a group for a photograph. We'd just like to celebrate this moment with both our leaders, Monica and Rohit, in one frame along with our eminent speakers. Let's give them a mighty round of applause. What a fabulous discussion it's been, and thank you so much to Britannia for choosing Data Unplugged for being the pivotal event for launching a great solution which truly emphasizes on CX for all. I think the applause needs to continue. It's been a great, great session. And maybe request our speakers to please stay back, allow us an opportunity to now call upon Richa Podar, Associate Director Marketing, Flipkart. Maybe please request our speakers to stay back. Neeraj, Amar, if you can please stay back with us on stage. We'd just like to give a token of appreciation. So just allow us some opportunity to please re-welcome the both of you. Richa, if we can have you on stage. Komal Goyal, Global Product Operations Lead Search Ads at Google. Maybe also request Vishwanathan V, Head of Marketing Elevation Capital, to please join us once again. On that note, thank you so much, and maybe please first request Richard to give a token of appreciation to Neeraj. Okay, we'll start with Amar, as you say. All right. Can we have the token of appreciations? Oh, right here. Perfect. Thank you so much. Let's give them a big, big round of applause. Amar Jain. Maybe now request Komal to please give a token of appreciation to Neeraj, if I can come to you now. Can we give them a big, big round of applause? Well, Amar has signaled a huge round of applause, so let's adhere to his request as well. Well, as the conversation continues, Vishwanathan, if we could request you to give a token of appreciation to Siddharth. Thank you so much, Siddharth, for joining us. If you can just have Vishwanathan and Siddharth in one frame, we'd just like to capture all these pivotal moments right here. If I could now request Richa to further give a token of appreciation to our speaker, Babita. Babita, please, if we could request you in frame with Richa. And Komal to further give a token of appreciation to our speaker, Amin Lakhani.
And a token of appreciation to the large team that's here today who's worked on the project. Thank you so much, guys. Anukriti, Ritika, Deepa, thank you so much. Richa, thank you.
Thank you.
Sandeep, so many of them. It's a huge team. Thank you, guys.
And towards the end, I mean, I know we're just heading down, but if you could just have all of you together in a group photograph, all our Richa, Komal, Vishwanathan as well, to please join our speakers in one frame. I think this deserves the biggest round of applause, the most loudest.